Good news! Recorder and Sam now have a Patreon. If you are a fan and would like to support the show, you can donate at patreon.com/recorderandsam. There are several tiers to choose from, and each one comes with a chance to help grow the world of Inundatia. Again, that is patreon.com/recorderandsam. Now, enjoy the adventure.
But I thought you were villainous pirates, the Navy General called out from his own helm.
Hardly. We keep killing those.
Captain Mayhaps growled back. So you're on our side? The General wondered. Mayhaps responded by grabbing the General's first mate in both of his massive hands and hurling him into the sea. Reckerman, having watched the carnage, finally spoke up. I believe we're more like the ambiguous corsairs. The Gnoll smiled as he hurled another naval soldier off the deck. That's it! Ambiguous corsairs!
Alright, so good news is I think this makes 2 episodes in a row where we've had a willing guest.
That is a new record, I believe.
I'm counting Kyressa as willing because she dragged me out here, and I was not unwilling.
True.
So we're currently at least at 2. I don't know if that's our record, but that's definitely up there.
That is the current count, and that count is unbroken, so let's try to keep that going.
Yeah, I mean, I can try, but anyway, this is Temin.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too.
Temin is actually going to be the Guildmaster for the Adventurers Guild.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm double glad to meet you.
Ah, you know lots of adventurers?
Not personally, but we've sent a few of them to their jobs.
Oh,
You
good.
were about to say deaths.
It comes with the territory.
See,
You know,
she gets
jobs,
it.
death, it's the same thing.
She gets it.
It's like a lottery.
It's partly why I retired from that. I'm Sam,
I'm Recorder.
and this is Recorder and Sam. What's washed up in Inundatia? Well, in this specific instance, a new guildmaster, and if she would like to introduce herself, she is more than welcome to.
My name is Temin Queensburg. I am the new guildmaster, and I am ready for all of these adventurers to just get in here and let me help you find some work.
All right. Enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So hopefully things will start getting more organized than they've been, because I can't run a business and also do that. I lose a lot of time.
Right.
And that is time I would rather be doing other things. I do have a daughter I should probably spend significantly more time with.
It's probably a good idea.
But, again, that's why we've set this whole thing up. Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to talk about that later? We do have some new stuff we got to go over.
Let's go over the news first.
All right.
Well, before we go over the news, whatever happened with your daughter being interrogated, did that go over well? Is everything okay?
I mean, Kyressa asked her a few questions. Nothing seemed to come of it. So
Okay.
that's on her and her case.
Okay. I just want to make sure that your daughter wasn't arrested for any reason.
No, the most we've gotten from it, the fact that she's not running a organized gambling ring.
Organized gambling ring. Okay.
Maybe if her dad was around more, then she wouldn't, try to, find love through crime.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, so let me take over this whole guild thing for you so you can get back to dadding, you know? That'll be helpful for everybody.
Especially my bartenders.
Yeah.
But the first thing we need to talk about seems like it might actually be tied to the second, so
Okay.
we'll try to keep them separate, but they might bleed together a little bit. Large amounts of spell components have gone missing. And are continuing to go missing.
Okay.
Now, not expensive components.
Okay.
They're not taking, super expensive diamonds or gems. No, we're talking about, 500 pounds of bat guano.
Okay. That's a lot of guano.
It's also a lot of fireballs, should anybody be wanting to cast the spell.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, we're not talking about, expensive metals and gems disappearing. We're talking about massive quantities of components for low-level spells.
Okay. You said this connects to something else, so I will let you bridge that before I start connecting my dots.
We're going to connect to the spells going a bit haywire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to bleed together a little bit, but they don't appear to be directly connected.
Okay.
Because we can trace a lot of spells going wrong to people casting them on their own.
Right, but what are we tracing the exponential growth of some of these spells being casted to? Is it still requiring all the components necessary to create a spell of that size?
Yes, but only the components necessary. Casting one fireball only requires a small amount of bat poop.
Right. And if that spell were to accidentally become 10 times as large, do you need 10 times as much?
It does not need that much bat poop.
Okay.
If they're not doing it intentionally, nothing changes.
Okay.
Which leads us to the path that if this much poop has been stolen, that's a lot of individual fireballs versus one really, really big fireball.
And has it been theft or just disappeared?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
A number of stores around the city have mentioned that they have lost massive quantities of mundane components.
Interesting. But nothing of value.
Not singularly. I mean, the quantity has value.
Right.
In the amounts they're going missing, they have value.
Right.
But individually, we're not losing 1,000 pounds of 1,000 gold gems.
How much bat guano do you need to have before it has a value?
More than one spell's worth.
Oh, wow. That's valuable poop.
We're looking at, like, I guess in the individual instances, we're looking at like 500 castings of it.
That sounds a little scary when you put it in those terms.
I mean, one person probably can't do all of that in one day, but that means they're prepped for quite a while to just
Or
fireball
like
all
5
day.
people in a day. Or like 10 people just all at once with a bunch of fireballs.
Exactly. That's the problem here. If someone is stealing these and they're not like being eaten by some kind of living spell or something, there's a lot of potential behind this that there will be something big coming.
When was it noticed that this quantity of bat guano went missing?
Is it just bat guano, or are we talking about other things too?
That was just a specific thing. I know you
Okay,
need to
so
cast
it's not
fireball.
just the poop that we're worried about. There's marbles missing, or
Yeah, adder stomachs.
Oh,
just
good.
The cheap things that everybody has a million of. Yeah, just a bunch of minor stuff for other spells, like piles of clay and iron filings, other species of animal poop, feathers, bits of tentacles.
A lot of poop going
let's
missing.
go back to the poop. What other kind of animal poop do we got going on here?
I mean, at least eagle poop. I'm pretty sure that gets a spell.
What kind of spell is produced by eagle poop?
I'm pretty sure that's what you need for Eagle's Splendor,
Okay.
which is supposed to make you more charismatic.
Beg pardon? How?
Yeah. You just smear bird poop on your face? I know they make makeup out of it.
No, I'm pretty sure we've already talked about how material components work. Also, I don't know why. I don't know who decided that eagles were sexy and using their poop makes you sexier.
Have you seen an eagle?
Have you?
Yeah.
No, I think I made it very clear. I'm into horses, not birds.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I've seen eagles.
A bird is a terrible point of reference for most things.
But a horse is great. Are we back on horses? We were just told to stay off of horses.
No, we were told to stay off of centaurs. They don't like to be ridden.
Unless there's an intimate connection there.
You can ride horses, though.
Save a horse, ride a centaur.
No, the opposite of that. We just
If
said
they
that.
let you.
Like, I'm pretty sure that needs to be a form filed in triplicate.
What, riding a centaur?
Yeah, making sure that you absolutely have their express permission to do so.
Well, what if they're already wearing a saddle? That is my question.
What if
Then they're
I put the
taunting you.
saddle on the centaur
Then you've probably been
with
kicked.
consent?
What if you're already sitting on a saddle and
I
then
say,
you climb on top of a centaur?
With or without a saddle, you'd still be riding them.
Right.
So how does that... How does this get any better?
You're on a saddle goes on a horse.
Centaurs are not
You're
horses.
not riding the human half, you're riding the horse half. That should be
If I was
okay.
riding the horse half,
But
if I was riding the person half, would that be less offensive?
Yeah, what if it was like a backpack
What
deal
if I
instead of a
was a
saddle?
piggyback
But this...
on the person back, not on the horse back, but
That is
on
a-
their regular back?
That is a wonderful image.
I could fit. I'm tiny.
All of this is exactly what Kyressa was trying to get at. They're not horses.
I understand that,
But,
but
fundamentally, their
that's-
backs are very similar to horse backs.
Which back? They have two backs.
The lower one, let's say.
the lower back,
The lower back.
the horizontal back.
But that's like saying you're a lawn ornament. That's like saying she's a lawn ornament, you're a fondue pot, and I'm a monkey.
I'm about to take umbrage.
Okay, I think one of those is correct.
I'm not a gnome or a dwarf. I'm a halfling.
Yeah, dwarves are taller than you.
How does that make her a lawn ornament?
Because he's trying to draw a gnome.
Because she's the right size for it.
Oh,
Also, it's racist if I assume the gnome is the lawn ornament.
Yeah.
It's not racist if I do it this way. It's just mean.
yeah, but like, what you're saying is, it's not entirely accurate. She was part horse. If I was part fondue pot, I wouldn't be able to say anything about that.
But saying she's part horse implies a horse is involved at any point in this.
Yeah, the
point-
bottom half.
Yeah.
That's still part centaur. It's all centaur.
All right.
Yes.
Forget horses altogether. Can I ride a centaur? Period. Can I just be a part?
With consent.
With consent.
Okay. It has nothing to do with horses. It just has to do with me riding them,
If they let you.
which they would.
I feel like we've lost track of this conversation.
Yeah, what happened to the guano talk? Let's
Do
get back to the-
centaur parents give their centaur children piggyback rides, and how does that work?
I don't know, and we can ask.
Okay.
Maybe that's a cultural thing for us two-legged folks. Maybe they have an equivalent of what a piggyback would be for them, you know?
Maybe.
Like a playful gesture that only centaurs share that we don't understand because it's
Maybe.
outside our cultural bounds.
She was very angry, wouldn't let us ask these questions. Now I'm asking these questions.
Now that she's not here anymore, I need to talk to somebody
She
about
only
this.
gave me more questions to ask.
We're answering and asking the hard questions here.
But to nobody who matters in the instance. None of this has anything to do with the fact that things are going missing. We need to figure out, and that is now going to be your problem, my new friend.
Oh, great, yeah. Because I guess I have to find people to find them, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, delightful.
I think the first step in this whole project would be finding people.
True. So
We might have some who are willing to join a guild, but maybe not everybody we've mentioned before is willing to go join up.
we need people to join our guild, too.
Or B guild.
Yeah.
A guild to
A
B guild.
guild.
I couldn't
B-guild,
help but you
C-guild.
guys notice that you guys are fighting over words.
We do that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like words are important.
Words are very important. In fact, so important to me that that's pretty much how I work and operate.
With words?
Of course.
And you know how I know that's true? She had a stronger segue than we've done in months.
Wow.
That is very true.
I didn't even need eagle poop to be that charming.
Oh, there's still cider left. You want a glass of cider?
Yeah.
It's kind of frozen. It's more like a slush at this point.
Yeah, but it still works. It's still drinkable. Also, we can start another fire and we can melt it if that's not good for you.
That's true. Are you cold? Do you want a fire?
It is a little nippy out here, and I do have less body mass to keep me warm, so...
I didn't hear a yes, so
Did you bring the box out this time?
no.
Of course not.
You need to remind me before I come out here.
How am I going to do that?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I'll get to work on that fire, though.
Oh, you guys need a fire? Like, why don't you just let me use my magic?
Sure, go for it.
All right, well, a beautiful fire crackled between the three travelers as they enjoyed the warmth and glow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a long spell, I feel like, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly theatrics, but
Okay.
The verbal components can vary from caster to caster.
All right.
it's important to me to make my spells really convey a feeling, you know?
Okay.
Like, you don't necessarily have to hear it or anything, but it's gonna work.
Right.
No, I don't think I followed that statement. Give me one more time.
It's not like they have to you have to hear it for it to work on you, but it's gonna work.
Okay, so what you're saying is if you quietly whisper, like, charm monster under your breath, the monster can still be charmed.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, you don't have to be, like, right near me for me to
So
make your arms noodles.
does that still ring true for power word spells? Because I'm fairly certain the verbal component for power word spells is yelling.
Yeah, but is it that they're yelling and that's the power behind it, or is it the word's meaning means something to somebody and when they're hearing it and then that's how the spell works? Because mine is that I create reality with the words that I'm saying. It's less about what you hear and more about what I say and what the words mean.
All right. So if I could be a bit nosy, just how practiced of a spellcaster would you say you are?
I mean, I'm not exactly an expert or anything, but I've definitely honed my craft, especially with finding lots of different words and stories in the past couple of years. And I'm hoping with my guild that I'll be able to get lots more stories that might help me learn more about my own spells.
Does the guild have a name?
No, I thought maybe we could put it to like a whole vote system here. Like, what do we think it should be? I mean, you're the guy in charge, aren't you?
No, that's specifically why we've hired you.
Oh, I'm in charge now. I could just name it whatever I want.
I mean, technically, yeah, I guess.
I don't take this lightly, though. I mean, like, I'm a little bit reckless, but when it comes to words, a lot of thoughts involved.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, it's not hers specifically.
Yeah.
I believe you count as a government employee.
Yeah, I'm technically an elected official. I mean, I ran unopposed, so, I mean, I'm not really elected. But, technically, if there was somebody in opposition to me, I would have been elected. So, yes, I would have been sort of like a government official, if you want to mince words.
Are we technically your boss? Is that how that goes? Or are we just the creative minds behind the guild. I just want to know where I stand on this.
I don't think we have much power in it.
That's fine.
You guys are like friends of the guild.
So we help set up the guild, we help spread word of the guild, and we're just guild adjacent.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you need to be more than that?
I just figured it would be Recorder and Sam's guild. Run by...
Oh, see, I was just thinking very uninventively it was going to be the Adventurers Guild.
Well, I mean, it could still be that, but I feel like shouldn't it have a name? Because what else would the guild be for if not adventurers?
I mean, the Thieves Guild isn't for adventurers.
That's true. I thought we were setting up our own Adventurers Guild, not another Adventurers Guild.
This would be the first in the city. We do have another option. It might not be the best one, but it is dangling in front of us like a carrot. We can name it later.
We could name it later?
It would be helpful if we had any members to start.
Yeah,
So
getting members
we've got
is...
some time, to play with here.
Getting members is the most important thing to have a successful guild.
The to-be-named Adventurers Guild. Currently employing almost no one.
I'm kind of offended by that. I'm a wholesome one.
Currently employing one person.
Thank you.
That being said, if anybody within the sound of my voice is looking for an Adventurers Guild and to be sent out and paid for some of the reckless things that you're allowed to do, by all means feel free to stop by.
There have been some crazy things in the past that we've had to try to get some help for, so it'd be nice to have a direct line to people willing to take on these massive feats.
And this is a city-sanctioned guild, so there's no fear of doing any potential illegal vigilante work when under a contract in the guild. Just making it absolutely clear that we are operating within the law.
And we are taking all newcomers.
Yeah, so if you guys like to have a fun time or you have a death wish or whatever it is, we'll take you.
We've discussed that there's an entry fee, right?
There's a nominal entry fee.
About 15?
Approximately 15 gold pieces, yeah.
15 gold pieces to be a prominent member of the guild. There are other tiers.
There are other means of joining, but that's neither here nor there. All right, back to the news. Before I forget, I need to mention that there was a small turning point. That seems wrong. A small
Breakthrough,
I guess, in the in the magical exaggeration case.
Okay. Is that what we're calling it? Magical exaggeration?
I mean, that sounds pretty good because it's not just affecting harmful spells; it's affecting everything.
So what's the new intel on the magic?
Remember all those the crappy prestidigitated stuff that was floating around?
Yeah.
Rumor has it that they left something in the city.
Like a magic totem, if that's an apt description?
I was going to say like a cursed object, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Semantics.
It's rumored that they left it somewhere and it's now disappeared. We don't have a solid description on it, but we have a vague idea that there's something to look for to, I guess, go huck into the ocean.
Okay. How does a cursed object do this?
I mean, cursed objects, they're that way because they don't really follow magic rules the right way.
Right, but are we to assume that anybody that's experienced this random magic acceleration has come in contact with this cursed object?
If I had to guess, I think it's that the object is radiating this power.
Okay.
And the longer it's sitting wherever it is, the further out the spread can get.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I would have to guess not so much, because then you would be able to pinpoint where it's radiating out from, right?
If they're looking for it in that regards, then yeah. And that's also if it's a smooth, like, circular expansion.
True.
If it's just leaking out sporadically and those areas are now tainted.
Like a flare in one direction.
Yeah.
A spike.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do we know anything about what this physical object is?
I haven't heard anything, but that doesn't mean people currently working on it don't know. I'm not given all of the information because unsavory people might be listening to us.
That is also true.
And they can get information from us.
If you're out there, I want you to know that the guild's coming for you. Just in case you don't know, we're gonna get you. All you unsavories that are listening right now. Just a word of warning.
That's fair.
And now that's here too.
True.
But no,
Gonna get ya.
cursed things are really hard to deal with. Some of them are just as simple as every time you swing your sword, your hair grows an inch.
Interesting. What happens if I were to swing a sword like that?
I don't know.
You'd be so beautiful.
I would. I'd have luscious locks.
Long silvery locks.
I think I'd be blonde. I feel like I'd be blonde.
I mean, I just said silver, so.
Like silver and gold hair.
Silver fox.
Beautiful highlights.
Silver fox guild.
Ah.
Only employing the elderly.
Only employing attractive men over 40.
So maybe not that.
Ah, okay.
We'll keep workshopping it.
Regular young. Everybody.
The average Joe guild.
I don't want average Joes. I want really good adventurers.
I want exceptional Johns.
I mean, if you want to, like...
Well, we have a mediocre John.
That is true. How is he doing?
He hasn't found his destiny yet, and I'm not happy that either of these two people are actually subjected to the fates of someone else. That someone else has decided that they no longer deserve to be rested.
Yep, that's fair.
I've been thinking a lot about that, and I'm not the most happy that these two specific people have been brought back and then just kind of left to the wayside. That seems incredibly unfair.
Yeah, I mean, they were resting. They were done. They've done all that they were going to do, and now that they have to do it all over again.
Yeah, now specifically John Smith has more things to do. I don't know who has what for destiny, and if John Smith is actually speaking truly about his, or if he just is scared to be put down again.
I mean, he knows what's coming for him, so he shouldn't be scared.
What do you mean he knows what's coming for him?
Like,
Death?
yeah.
It's
Okay.
hard for you to understand, probably, because death is inevitable for all of us regular folks. But
Me too. I'll die eventually.
I mean, but you're...
No.
But you don't count.
But
You'll
not
be-
in that way.
You'll be killed eventually.
Just because it's happening in the future doesn't mean that we're all panicked about it all the time. You just can't concentrate on those types of things. Death's inevitable, but if you think about it every second, it'll just drive you crazy.
That's fair. I don't think about it all that often. Only when our guests bring it up to me.
You know, I just had a thought.
What?
If the cursed object is magnifying magic,
Yeah.
and we have two would-be heroes that are brought back by magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, clearly that's going nowhere. I was going to say, how do you think that might affect them? But clearly, by these vacant stares I'm getting, there's not a strong opinion one way or the other.
Well, did this bring them back? Did this help bring them back? Or are you saying this is going to escalate whatever final battle that we're going to have?
I mean, both. I don't know specifically the methods by which they brought these two gentlemen back, but if the magic is being exaggerated around him, that could potentially lead to one of two things.
Right.
Either other things are now going to get disenchanted, as it just radiates out from him, or he just winds up becoming a statue again just where he stands.
But what do we have to tie him to this cursed object?
Him being in the radius of the cursed object's magic.
Just that.
Yeah, if he just wanders too close to an area that is affected by it, what happens to them? Since they are potentially magical objects, spells themselves.
Right, but has that coincided, his location in the city, with one of these events of spontaneous magic combustion?
I don't know. I feel like that's a good question to ask, because we have at least two potential wells of problems right now that that should probably be kept as far away from this as possible.
But normally I'm the first person to say everything's connected, but
So why aren't you?
I
It makes
don't
my job a lot easier.
I don't see how that makes sense, because that means that one of the two churches or both have access to that item if that's what was used to bring him back. But they did it in the public eye, so anybody can go find out how they did it.
No. There's our disconnect.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they have whatever this object might be. We'll call it a MacGuffin for now.
Okay.
They have the MacGuffin. If it's just hanging out, say, at the Drunk Duck, and Jonathan the Great wanders past, and the Raise Dead spell that was cast on him either gets suddenly really powerful and we have zombies crawling up from the ground, or like inverse and he just drops dead on the ground again.
Okay, I'm still not seeing the connect between the object and him to begin with.
There isn't one? I'm just saying, how does it affect them?
I would have to say not.
You don't think it would?
I don't think it would, because it would have done something already.
If they're close enough.
If this object has been in the town, has been in Lattice as long as the issue with the faulty goods has been, that happened before the second person was reanimated, right?
Yeah.
So that
I think.
means it would have had to been in the city the entire time at least the second person was brought back.
But if they left the city to resurrect him, or maybe something triggered the item now.
Maybe. For once, I'm not seeing a connection between the two, though.
I'm scared.
That's fair. Because to me, it seems like it would be relatively easy to find where this thing is. You just keep casting non-fireball spells.
You can find out what the area of effect of it is, but that doesn't necessarily get you any closer. I don't know if the effects are getting stronger closer to the actual object itself, or if it's just put out like a reverse anti-magic sphere.
But like, what were to happen if you were in close to the epicenter at least, and then cast detect magic?
Your eyes blow up?
Maybe.
I don't know. We could have somebody try that.
Yeah. Maybe somebody.
If you'd like to volunteer to try this out, your eyes might explode, but we need brave adventurers to donate their eyeballs.
Don't worry, we'll send a cleric in after you whose heal might overheal you, and you'll pop like you were on the elemental plane of positive energy.
Or multiple eyeballs? More than the two that you would have normally?
It's a pretty crowded face then.
Yeah, it's like a spider.
I mean, it depends if you're trying to heal them or regrow the eyeballs.
Both? If you're healing them, you'd be regrowing the eyeballs, right?
Well, no, because heal spells can get more specific than that.
I want the eyeballs regrown. If you had eyeballs...
That sounds like it might be multiple eyeballs, or really big eyeballs.
That's gonna cost you extra.
Probably. I don't know. I feel like you'd be able to cast some sort of tracking spell in the area of effect and have a really good shot at just knowing where this item is.
Are we sure this guy's not already dead? Who's checked up on him recently?
I haven't. I don't want to say I want them both to be dead, but...
You want them both to be not alive any longer.
So really the reason you're asking these questions is because you're hoping that this cursed item might kill all these people?
No, not all these people. 2 people who were previously dead.
Yeah, all these 2 people.
I mean, I do agree that they probably deserve to be at rest and not have to deal with the monotony of life again.
And the insanity that's clearly happening around them.
Yeah, them existing kind of makes things really complicated.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I don't want this great destiny to suddenly be there and have to swallow up other people with it. Usually great destinies are never one-on-one. There's collateral damage.
Yeah, I don't think any random citizen of Lattice wants to be swept up in this epic battle that's supposed to happen between John the Meh and his great destiny.
And if you'd like to get swept up into an epic battle, Adventurers Guild,
There is that.
we are here. Sorry, I'm trying to plug this.
Hey, don't worry about
Get
it.
in there.
Do we mention the nominal fee again?
The nominal fee of 15 gold pieces to be a prominent member of the Adventurers Guild.
I mean, it goes to being fed.
Yeah.
People will be fed because of that.
That is true.
Maybe you, probably other people.
Definitely me.
That is also true.
If you'd like to help feed me, I can make my own food.
But in all seriousness, the collective 3 of us are trying to get this Adventurers Guild up off the ground so we can do some good around the city of Lattice and, potentially the world, too. Because, I mean, some adventures take people from place to place, so if we can get some recruits, then we can get some good stuff going.
Indeed. Then we'd have a lot less cursed objects and...
Mm-hmm. And we wouldn't have to worry about too much, and we could just send people to where they need to be, instead of asking for help to find something out to then ask somebody to go fix it.
Yeah, but I'm really good at that.
Yeah, but we can still do that, just more specifically.
That's the point of this, is so that we can actually give some of you official jobs for the city.
Right.
That you are no longer these somewhere between squatter and vigilante.
Yeah.
That you will actually be employees. That those of you listening to this can come actively support what we're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm. And be a part of it yourself instead of just listening to it. Because it's one thing to be a fan and listen and enjoy it, and you can. This is the news of Lattice, obviously. But it's another thing to be a part of it as well. And joining the Adventurers Guild is a great way of being a part of what we do here.
And part of what we do here is explode eyeballs.
Apparently.
I mean, there's a chance of it. We can't rule anything out. Petrification's on that list.
No promises. But your eyeballs might explode.
Things on the list: petrification, lighthouse wrangling, potential conversations with dire wolves, phoenix taming.
Yep. Bullet wrangling, hiding from dragons,
elemental hunting,
OTUGs.
We've got a long list of interesting things you can do, and then say you've done. You just need to come make sure that you've signed up with us. Because we will no longer sanction people not sent out by the guild.
Right.
It will exist very soon once there's enough people in it to actually call it a guild and not just one person who owns the guild hall.
Haha.
And we will spread out from there. I feel like I feel like we are absolutely beating a dead horse.
Yes, but it's a horse that needs to be beaten.
I can think of a number of
It
people
does
who
it
would be
good.
unhappy with that.
This is like a centaur's back that needs to be beaten.
And made it worse. So I was told you got the job because you are known as the Entomancer.
Well, not an entomancer, it's a edomancer.
Isn't that what I said?
Nope, you said entomancer. Entomancer is somebody that is with bugs. Edomancer is with words.
All right, that's an important distinction.
So, and word magic?
Yes, word magic. See, I learn spells and collect different stories, and then I use those stories and words to create magic.
Interesting. So that's how you
Cheat?
did the fire earlier. You told a story about a fire and suddenly fire existed?
Precisely.
Interesting.
Well, it sounded more like she just kind of narrated what was happening and then the world responded appropriately.
Okay. So how does that work? Because do you need components to do spells, or is the words just enough for you?
The components come from listening to other people's stories. So if I were to hear a story from someone else, this gives me components that I can better tell stories in the future.
But you don't need a pound of bat guano to do the spell.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
So you're really good at cheating.
Yeah, my components are more metaphysical.
That seems extremely useful in casting.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, but it also means you have to be social. And we all know how much wizards like to talk to other people.
Depends on the people, I suppose.
So if that's the case and you can learn how to produce spells just by hearing them or just using words, why doesn't anyone who practices magic do that?
Metamagics.
It's hard, and it takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of books to read too. So a lot of people don't like to read.
That's true.
Unless you have a natural talent for it. A lot of the time, altering a spell makes it more difficult to cast.
Are you trying to compliment me?
Yes?
Thank you.
I mean, unless you're actually an exceptionally powerful wizard who has metamagicked their spells and is just casting very low-tier spells as complicatedly as possible.
Now, you've said that a few times. What is metamagic?
Cheating at magic. If you need to change your spells,
What do you mean change your spells? How do you
what if
cheat
you want
at
your
magic?
fireball to be made of light?
Would that not be lightning? Wouldn't that not just be a different spell?
Well, no, fireball's an explosion in an area, whereas a lightning bolt is everything in a straight line.
Okay.
What if you want lightning in an area, or fire in a straight line,
Okay.
or ice in either of those options?
Okay.
Well, through the studies of metamagics, you can achieve that. You can change qualities of some spells. Some things are simpler, like they can eliminate somatic or verbal components, depending on the spell. Some spells don't exactly fit those rules.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot you can do to twist how magic comes out.
Okay.
Some people are more innately talented with it, which it appears Temin is. But other people need to study for years to be able to figure out how to just simply remove the verbal components from a spell.
Wow. Okay. So
Magic and words are kind of similar. They're both things that you can twist a lot. So you just have to learn how to make those two things go together.
well, we all know the most magic word of all.
Please?
I was going to say fuck.
Well, that one's also important.
I'm a public figure, so technically I'm not allowed to curse in public.
Well, luckily you're not in public. You're with a group of friends.
I know, but my voice is going to be heard by lots of people, and it's very important to choose your words carefully.
That's true, but you could just say it wasn't you.
That also implies, but that logic says that I am also a public figure, and I have done very much wrong by swearing.
Yes, but you're not an elected official, and neither am I. But if I were an elected official, then I would have some kind of standards to uphold.
Maybe I should stop swearing.
Nah, I think you're fine.
I also think that might be what got me kicked out of the monk order I was in.
Yeah, that might do it.
To try to keep us a little more on track, since I feel like I might have come out here half-cocked.
Yeah, we've been bouncing around from topic to topic a little bit this episode.
Well, let's keep that up and do a fan mail.
Fan mail? All right, we haven't done that in a while.
Well, it seems like someone is questioning about the world.
Okay.
This unnamed listener politely asks, "Are there any unexplored lands left?"
Interesting. I can't imagine there's too much left unexplored. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, we had most of everything charted.
I'm gonna
At least?
I'm gonna venture a very strong no.
You're just a definite no, there's nothing left to be discovered?
I'm gonna leave a little room for error.
Okay.
And that's not that there's nothing left to be discovered. There's always things to be discovered.
Right.
As far as unexplored land goes, I mean, we have maps that encompass the globe.
Right.
The only things that might not land on them are some islands that I guess were particularly uninteresting.
But that begs the question of what is undiscovered land. If there is the outline of an island on a map, but nobody has ever set foot on that island, is that undiscovered? We know where the island is, but nobody's actually gone over it.
It would be discovered, but it would be unexplored.
Unexplored. So is the question asking unexplored or...
Undiscovered.
Undiscovered. It was undiscovered. Because even in a world like this, just because every land mass has been discovered right now, doesn't mean there isn't an island about to magically pop up tomorrow.
If it's magically created, does it still count?
I would say, in specific terms of discovery, it would not count if somebody purposely made a new island. However, if the magical forces aligned and somehow magically took a chunk of the plane of Earth and popped it into the ocean somewhere, that's now a new landmass to go discover.
But I wouldn't say it's undiscovered, because it existed somewhere where it might have been mapped.
Yes, but you wouldn't know that until it was discovered and then searched. And then you could say, oh, this originated from there. Now you know more about it. But as someone who's been on a ship for a long period of time doing the same route back and forth, if the 20th time I've taken the exact same route, there was just a new island we passed, I'd want to know what that's about. That would be an undiscovered landmass that wasn't there the last time we came this way.
All right.
That's how I feel whenever I go to the library and there's a new book. You can always discover something new in a book, even if there's nothing in land to discover. Use your mind, kids.
So how about this? As the rumor goes, the King of Lightning took a chunk of the plane of Earth,
Okay.
left it in the plane of air,
Okay.
and then after it had absorbed enough elemental energy there, brought it here.
Okay.
That landmass now floats above the ocean.
Okay.
Is that land undiscovered?
No, because it was put there
It's
by...
rumor.
Uh-huh.
We know nothing truly of the King of Lightning,
Right.
and it was supposedly taken from 2 other places.
Is this real?
Yeah, can we prove this is real?
If this story is true,
Okay.
so for the purposes of this discussion, we're assuming that this is what happened.
Okay.
Is this land undiscovered? One person has been on it.
Then it's discovered. And everybody knows about it. Even though this is a rumor of what could have happened, everybody knows that this piece of land exists.
You guys, here's the thing. If there's any land that's not discovered, we wouldn't know about it. So
And I guess that's kind of what I'm getting. I'm trying to
everything
get
we
to.
have discovered has been discovered. Everything that hasn't been discovered, we don't know about. So we just think everything's been discovered, I guess, if it's all there.
That's completely reasonable.
Yeah, but that's also a bad answer, because the answer would then always be yes, we've discovered everything.
Well, maybe their question wasn't good.
Because then as soon as you discover something new, you still have everything discovered.
Well, how about this? Everything...
You can't discover something that and then it not be discovered.
Everything we know about has been discovered. We can even maybe go so far to say that everything that can be discovered has been discovered. It would be unfair to say there will be nothing left to discover. There will always be something new to find, whether it's a landmass, an island of some sort, or a new theory of something.
A new bug, a new spell, a new something.
Exactly. There's always something new about everything that remains secret until it's brought to light.
That's really beautiful.
That remains secret until it's not.
Exactly. So it's kind of a weird thing. We can say everything's been discovered for now. We haven't found something undiscovered yet.
Yeah, it is always a true statement in the present.
Yes.
It is not always a true statement in the past.
So I guess a solid answer could be, not is, an acceptable answer could be everything that exists now has been discovered.
As per usual.
But then if a kid asked this question, this is a terrible answer for a child.
If a kid asked this question, you can give a yes or no, and it doesn't matter.
No, I think if a kid asks this question, I would change it for them and say, we have in fact explored everything we know of.
Yeah, they wouldn't think too much about that.
That's basically an answer to the question, and it correctly states that we have been through pretty much everything that we have put on a map. I'm not sure every inch of the bottom of the ocean has been scoured, but we still know the shape of it. We know most things about it. Someone has been most places. I think the only place that might be undiscovered, truly undiscovered, is whatever's in Pandora.
That's true.
I think short of that one triangle on the map, I think we're pretty much pretty solid as far as whether or not we've touched it or not.
But then, with the same logic, the answer could be a definite no, because it is impossible to see everything in Pandora's Triangle. You and I both know that two people can go in on the same ship and have two completely different experiences.
So the answer could never be yes.
The answer could never be
theory.
yes. So I think that's the answer we would have to land on. Due to the magical nonsense that is Pandora, no, everything has not been discovered. There is things that we will never discover.
Well, kid, if you're out there listening, that's your answer. We don't know. Yes and no, and all of it. There's your answer.
There's a very strongly philosophical answer about the nature of
I know, this kid's
discovery.
probably like, all I wanted to know was a little cartography question, and you guys are talking about the meaning of what it exists, what it means to exist.
If I go to the
What
top of this
lands
mountain,
are and
am
are
I the
not?
first one to do it? No, nothing you do is special.
Discovery.
This is how I raised my child.
Yeah, that's how come she's a criminal now.
She's not a criminal, she's gambling. And I wouldn't even say addicted to it, because I don't think she's gambling, I think she's running the ring.
The unorganized ring.
Yeah, that seems
That's-
pretty illegal to me. I mean, I'm not a...
The important part is it's unorganized.
Well, nobody prosecuted is going to get arrested because they're all minors.
Great. You're the dad of the year.
I mean, probably not. There's probably a better dad than me.
My dad's pretty great.
I don't have a dad.
Go on, recorder, tell us about your dad.
Go on.
I don't have a dad. I have a creator, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. I don't know if I met him more than once.
But dead and dad are just one letter apart.
But he wouldn't be my dad.
You added that extra letter in, so he's not anymore.
Yes. Well, he wouldn't have been anyway. More philosophical discussions that we could save for a later date.
Date's only about 2 letters away from dad.
3. 2.
How do you spell
3. It needs a second D.
It already has a D. It's fine.
You guys are bad at math and words.
Merds, if you will.
It's a good thing our job doesn't revolve around talking.
It's a good thing our job doesn't resolve around talking.
Yup.
Sam was played by Tucker Avery. Recorder was played by Kenny Boucher. Temin was played by Alora Shaver. Recorder and Sam logo was created by Alana Heyman. Music was created by Dominic Rudinsky. If you want to ask the show a question, leave a comment or send an email to recorderandsam@gmail.com.
Recorder and Sam now has our own Discord server where you can feel free to socialize with other people who listen, and just as well, we have our own little room where you can go ahead and leave questions at the bar.
We'll see you in the next episode.